Well, say what you want to about this little DR200 SE, but I love this little dual sport. Now, I did a sort of a sketchy review of this about 8 months ago or so, and I just felt I had to come back to this bike. Believe it or not, it's one of the first bikes I was actually considering as an all-around bike. And I'm almost sorry I didn't buy this bike. This is the same bike that I did a review on 8 months ago. It's still at the dealership. I'm surprised nobody has snatched this up. It may have something to do with the fact that in my state, they do not allow anything that is sub 250 cc's on the interstate. One of the other reasons I've decided to revisit this bike is also because the new Honda Grom, which is basically a 125cc motard. It's kind of a redo of their old monkey bike, but it's a completely new chassis and design. This would fit into the same price bracket because that bike is around $3,000. This is listed as about $4,200. I'm sure you could probably take it away for like maybe $3,700 or something like that. So one more time, I get to throw a leg over this bike, and let's just take another look.
I mean, this bike is so doggone light. It's crazy. I'm practically flat-footed. I mean, even more so than on my street triple. I mean, you could really thrash this little thing around. How cool is that? I really don't think this bike gets enough credit. I really don't. It's an old bike. In my opinion, I think the design is still very much relevant today. I mean, who cares, right? You could drop this thing on the pavement, drop it in the woods, drop it off a cliff, and you wouldn't care. Well, I mean, I would, but... Wow. I mean, it's so doggone yeah, you could do some serious hooliganing on this little thing. I mean, the seat is comfortable, obviously because it's a dual sport or you know, semi-off-road bike. Very narrow in the seat. This DR200 is definitely situated for the shorter rider. The controls are very accessible, very comfortable seating position, very upright. I understand that this little thing will go 70, 75-ish out in the top end. Yeah, sure. I mean, the controls are dated, but do you really need anything other than what you're seeing right there? Obviously, you would have to set your odometer to be mindful of your fuel. I think this gets around 60-ish miles to the gallon, maybe even more. It's like a 2.5 gallon tank. So you could probably do 120 miles if you're going really easy on it. They got a nice solid master cylinder there. Horn, lights. Yeah, this is great. And like really dated mirrors. But man, you could probably smack the heck out of these things and not worry about it. Yeah, what a great little bike. Still don't think this gets enough attention or enough credit. So doggone light.
Do you really think Suzuki went the way of, if it isn't broke, don't fix it? Motorcycle USA gave this bike a very good review, and they put it up against the CRF 230L Honda, which has now become the CRF 250L. They put it up against the KLX 250, and they put it also up against the Yamaha WR, which was really surprising that they would actually catalog or lump this bike into that group. Speaks a lot. I think this is really cool how they situated the toolkit under the seat, which is really accessible, actually. It has a little door that pops open and a little tool bag. You barely have enough room for anything else in there. But obviously you could put a top case on this thing. You could put some carrying cases on the side. A solid steel frame. How could you go wrong with something like this? The fit and finish of the bike it's immaculate. It's very well put together. And because it's been around so long, there is a plethora of aftermarket stuff for this bike. Some guys would probably do a tail chop, put a different exhaust on it, probably put a different fender on there. But, by and large, do you really need anything more than this, like, around the city? And if you want to just, take it out into the country and tear up some of the back roads and off roads and just, go trail riding and stuff. You got the old school fuel situation here, fully carbureted. You have your fuel line, reserve, and then you turn the fuel off. And there it is, the 2013 DR200 SE by Suzuki. Now, I combed the internet far and wide, and there's like almost nothing out there on these bikes that's really decent, and I was able to find a couple of decent vids, so I'm just going to throw the links up in here and also in the About section on the video, so you can click the links and go to these guys and watch their vids. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe.